We began the year with restaurants still closed to the public as we fought to slow the spread of COVID-19.
We're turning the dial up, though, to a point where normalcy is on the horizon.
After businesses and restaurants fought to stay open.
You can open, you can operate, and you can say, I can do it safely.
Fight COVID, not walls.
We began to see a push for normalcy once again, now watching leaders push for the public to get vaccinated.
I'm calling on all states and local governments to use funding they have received, including from the American Rescue Plan, to give $100 to anyone who gets fully vaccinated.
From October 18th to November 20th, children ages 12 to 17 will receive a $200 Visa card.
It's our thank you. It's an incentive.
A move toward vaccine requirements causing a divide.
We are all going to lose. So it does not matter what your position is. Even if you're pro-vaccine, you should be out here.
Along with new variants changing how we fight the virus.
Here again, yet a fifth variant of concern. And we start to see cases and people say, well, I don't know if we need to shift policy.
But COVID quickly took a backseat in the headlines as a historic murder trial began in March. And now Chauvin's trial begins. He is charged with second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter tonight. We have team coverage bringing you the latest from in and outside the courtroom.
The force that Mr. Chauvin was using was lethal force. It was force that was capable of killing a human.
There were no bruises to Mr. Floyd's neck. There was no evidence that Mr. Floyd's airflow was restricted.
The world watched as a former Minneapolis police officer was put on trial for the murder of George Floyd.
We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 1, unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony, find the defendant guilty.
But that's not even justice. Justice is a system that doesn't kill George Floyd.
Stop killing us!
Stop killing us!
Good moments. We have a lot of work to do in our state.
But during that trial, 10 miles away, a black man, Dante Wright, is shot and killed during a routine traffic stop in Brooklyn Center. The officer, Kim Potter, claiming she meant to deploy her taser. But come December, a jury would find her guilty of manslaughter.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty.
2021 marked 20 years since the terror attack on September 11, 2001.
This is the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen. It's just absolutely shocking.
Disgusting that there are people in this world that would go to these ends to do something like this. God bless America.
Rochester looking back on that day.
I do remember that day very well.
As I can remember almost to the minute, I was teaching in room 114 at West High School.
I was working at IBM at the time. Somebody came in and said a plane hit the towers.
We also said goodbye to two historic figures in Rochester. The tallest man in the U.S., Igor Kovinski, died at 38 years old.
It wasn't always about his height. It was about him as a person.
You know, he's towering above me, giving me this hug. He was absolutely adorable, and he was that way with everybody.
And former Rochester Mayor Chuck Hazama also passed away at the age of 89.
So there's only one Chuck Hazama.
He was a very energetic, happy, dedicated mayor who loved his job and loved the city of Rochester.
But we also met people who care.
When someone's passion turns on, and it's kind of reliving it for myself too, like seeing that light turn on, and like I really like this.
When they see these plates, they just light up and say thank you.
But those who receive the food will have a reminder that there's a lot of people out there that care for them.
And kids with courage.
You are Zania. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's 10 times braver than I am.
Bringing people together through kindness.
Come together and help to find a cure for this fight against cancer.
And showing that communities come together, especially during difficult times.
Yesterday everything was normal, and then today it's not.
Like the historic 27 tornadoes in Derecho that hit this area.
First thing at daylight, 40, 50 people showed up and helped.
It's a lot worse than I imagined, but the house is still standing and I'm okay.
Well, we got lucky, everyone's alive, so no one got hurt. That's the main part.